It's now time for this week's guest for Acoustics in the Room. Please welcome Mitch Gardner. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks
Pleasure
for coming.
to be here. That's all right.
And I just have to tell a story. When I first heard your voice on The Voice, I was watching something.
No pun intended.
No.
No.
I was on in the background and I was doing something else. And as soon as I heard your voice, I looked up and I had to keep watching.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I hope other people felt the same way.
I'm sure a lot of people did. It was awesome. Now, so how long have you been singing for?
Music's always been around me. Singing wise, I wasn't really. It wasn't my first kind of instrument, I guess. I started on saxophone actually. I taught myself guitar in about year 8, and singing kind of just. I was always, singing in the shower. Everyone kind of does that, but yeah, I didn't really kind of perform with it until I had a guitar. I never sang until the guitar was with me. Obviously now I sing without the guitar. Yeah. But yeah, it took the guitar for it to kind of properly come out, I guess, yeah. And
what about musical influences growing up? Did you have many?
Yeah, hugely. So I grew up massively on, Mum was hugely the musical side. Dad, like music's around everyone, but some people are just a bit more in tune with it. Mum was definitely that person. So I grew up on, the Beatles, Van Morrison, Bruce Springsteen, like people like that, Beach Boys, all that kind of stuff. And then of course, being a 20-year-old, influence is huge by I love John Mayer, James Bay, Ed Sheeran, of course, acoustic singer, songwriter, of course. Yeah, he's topping the world. It's great to see a guy with a guitar, killing it right now. So yeah.
And talk about The Voice. What made you want to audition?
Yeah, funny story about that. So when I left school, I've been doing music full time since I left school. Obviously, I've had part-time jobs along the way because it's not the best money-making scheme when you're just starting out. But yeah, everyone always, said, what about those shows, things like that? Yeah, cool. I never put a huge amount of thought into it. And then, they were on TV one night and I was sitting around with my mates. We were having a barbecue and it was just on in the background. We were having a couple of beers and they were like, let's do it. And so we got the form up and we wrote the whole form out. And that night I went to sleep and I didn't send it in. So I'd completed the whole thing and I filled out the whole form. It's 5 or 6 pages long. Or you got to fill out all the information about yourself and stuff like that. And, at the end of the night, I was like, nah, and I closed the laptop. And then in the morning, my friend woke me up and said that he sent it in. Oh. So he opened it up and sent the audition in for me. So I have to thank him for that, I guess. So that's how it happened. And, I kind of went into it with, try for the best, but, expect the worst type of thing. So I had this mentality that, out of the people that sent in auditions, even just making the blinds was pretty special. So to get to where I got was, surreal, amazing.
I bet that's very nerve-wracking singing behind when they're not looking.
Yeah, I mean, that's what all of us kind of, when I say all of us, everyone that was on the show, we all kind of weigh that up. We don't know whether it helps or whether it doesn't, because on one hand, it's a nice way to be introduced to the likes of Jessie J, Delta Goodrem, things like that, because you can't actually see them until they like you. Yeah. Whereas, imagine if they were just staring at you the whole time and then they never picked you. Yeah. I don't know. For me, that's kind of I kind of like it. And I think that's why I went with the Voice.
And how was it working with Ronan?
Oh, great. Yeah, he's amazing. He's really, really genuine. What you see is what you get with him. Yeah. Totally, yeah.
Well, you have brought your guitar in. So
I have, yes.
I think I'm going to have to hear a track now.
For sure.
And I think I'll probably get goosebumps like I did the first time I was
Do you have any preference on songs?
I like both of your singles.
Yeah?
Any one of those.
Okay, I'll play, I'll start with the first single that came out, Scar.
Cool. Okay. Here's Mitch Gardner, 100.3.
You always told me to breathe real deep, but you never said it would be this hard. And I know you didn't mean to leave, but you left a scar. I remember the look upon your face, and how you said we'd never part. I knew too well this was our last embrace, and you left a scar. On my heart, on my heart. And that time when you came home, you surprised me with this guitar. Make me proud, my dear son, and you left a scar. On my heart, on my heart. Oh. And I still listen to Van, 'cause you're on the bright side of my road. But the blackbird flew away with you, and you left a scar. On my heart, on my heart, on my heart, on my heart. You left a scar.
Mitch, Gardner, that was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And the video clip for that is awesome. Can you tell us about that as well?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm lucky enough to have a pretty good little kind of family of friends around me. You know, I think that's one of the best things I've had from The Voice. Just gaining, you know, they always say it's about who you know, and I kind of agree with that. You know, just from doing the show, it allowed me to connect with so many people, and one of the people I connect with is a photographer called Robbie, and he's been one of the best people to have around because of, you know, things like the music video that you guys saw. He's just got this kind of mind that's just creative, and we just kind of bounce off each other really well. So when we were actually on tour, and we were driving somewhere, but we'd been driving for a while, and after a while, you know, when you kind of you get overtired, that you kind of get energetic. Yeah, it was kind of like one of those kind of feelings, and Robbie got into this headspace, and he was just like, he just had ideas throwing everywhere, and some of them were just like, what are you talking about? And others were like, oh, that could work. And he just kind of, and then he got onto this track of something that could work, and I kind of came back, and then he kind of came back, and we just kind of bounced off each other for about 5 minutes until we ended up with this the idea for Scar, and it was just, we wanted to keep it really simple, but kind of nostalgic. That was the kind of simple but nostalgic. That was kind of the I guess quote we wanted to make the video around, and so we use that kind of like blurred, you know, background. It's a bit it's hard to kind of make out. It's a bit grainy. It's a bit like a memory almost.
Yeah.
And I think, I think we captured it pretty well. And I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Everyone should go check it out. It is awesome.
Thank you.
And what's the process when you're writing music?
It changes all the time. That's a really good question. I've always been... this is one of the questions that, I sit at home and I'm like, that's one of the questions I want to get if I do radio. Because it changes so much all the time. When I first started writing songs, it was... I'd sit there for a while and try and come up with this guitar melody until I found one that I liked. But that, that was 6 years ago. I've been writing songs for a while, and it's always changing. Sometimes I'll be, lying in bed at 2 or 3 a.m. and I'll just get a melody kind of come to me. Other times, I'll want to write a song and I'll sit down with the guitar and either come up with something on the guitar or some kind of phrasing or words that I like, or something that's, I don't know, in tune to what I'm feeling at the time, or what a friend's going through, or an outside circumstance, or if I'm just in a creative mood and I want to write a story, that kind of thing will happen. Lately I've found that, once I come up with kind of something on guitar, I kind of put the guitar down and I find a nice little spot to sit or have a coffee and just kind of, and I just forget about the guitar for a while and just write. And I've been doing that a fair bit recently, so that's seeming to do okay right now.
All the songs you're coming out with are awesome, so.
Thank you so much, yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to take a short break and then we'll be right back with some more.
Perfect.
100.3.
And welcome back to the Aussie Collection Show with Mitch Gardner. Now, Mitch, do you have any gigs coming up?
Not hugely, not right now, because I actually leave to Adelaide on Wednesday. What day is it? It's Monday. Yeah, so I leave for Adelaide in 2 days. I'm doing a concert in Adelaide on the 26th.
Oh, cool.
So this Friday, yeah.
Cool.
If you're in Adelaide, come along.
And you have is an EP going to be coming out?
Yeah, so Scar and Letter to You, they're both off a six track EP, and I want to get one music video down for another of the songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole EP should be coming out within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely get played here.
Awesome. That's good to know. I'll definitely send it along.
And we also have on my show, I have a featured album each week, so I'll be having that as a featured album.
Yeah, wicked. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, man.
And can you where can people go if they want to find more or contact you?
Yeah, so you can contact me. I mean, I'm all over social media, as any 20-year-old, I suppose, is these days, really, isn't it? It's the new portfolio. So Instagram, Facebook, I'm pretty much just Mitch Gardner everywhere. You can find it on Instagram, Facebook. My emails, if you go to one of those pages, my email, any contact information, if you want to get in touch or say hi, you can find it all through those outlooks.
And make sure you buy Letter to You or Scar on iTunes.
Yeah, go grab them.
Yeah,
or Spotify,
cool.
let me know. Yeah.
Really cool. Well, thanks so much for coming in.
That's all right. And
we're going to finish with another live one. What are you going to finish
with? Awesome. Well, I figured, I played Scar, and, if people liked that, they can go and see Letter to You for themselves. So I figure I might play a song that I kind of wrote in the last few weeks.
Oh, sounds cool.
So just kind of, I don't know, mix it up a bit.
A new one.
Yeah, a new one. So this is kind of what I'm writing now, I guess. So this is a song called Brooklyn.
Here it is, Mitch Gardner, 100.3.
Rolled over at 6 a.m. just to get out of bed by 10. You fell asleep so quick last night. Woke up at 4 and had a smoke outside the door. I wonder how you're sleeping tonight. I played a pub near you and you come every single time. You know the lyrics that are yours. The same old songs are sung, but somehow you still sing along. I said, Brooklyn, you have struck a certain chord. Our lips softly connect. You beautiful brunette. Once two silhouettes becoming one. I'll take you in my arms, the light to your dark, engrave our names in bark. We'll watch the sunset above the treetops, and let love be our guide when our hearts collide. When our hearts collide. It took me long enough to ask you on a date. Turned out you said no every time. I guess you were so young, too young to know that love had come that night. I dreamt one day you'd be mine. It's been 1 year today. God knows we have changed, but our feelings never sway with the ever-changing winds. I'll take you in my arms, the light to your dark, engrave our names in bark. We'll watch the sunset above the treetops, and let love be our guide when our hearts collide. When our hearts collide. When our hearts collide. Our lips softly connect. You beautiful brunette. Once two silhouettes becoming one. Yeah, I'll take you in my arms, the light to your dark, engrave our names in bark. We'll watch the sunset above the treetops, and let love be our guide when our hearts, and let love be our guide when our hearts, and let love be our guide when our hearts collide. When our hearts collide. So Brooklyn, you have struck a certain chord.
Mitch Gardner there, 100.3. That was awesome.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for stopping by, mate. Come back anytime.
Anytime, yeah,
Thank you.
will do.